Hello everyone, welcome to Brush and Splash Studio. My name is Bonnie and today we are going back in time with this gel printing session. I found some vintage department store catalogs from the 1900s in the digital archive section at my public library, all in the public domain. And I'm going to use these images to create laser print resists onto my gel plate. So I just used a thin layer of Liquitex Basics Mars Black to start, and I printed up all of my laser prints using my at-home laser printer. And as you can see here, I just placed down the laser print onto my gel plate for a few seconds before I pulled up the laser print, and there we go. So I'm just letting this dry completely before I move on to the second step. And the second step is reverse painting. So I'm reverse painting just some areas that I want to stand out. So I'm coloring in the furniture using different shades of brown, and I'm letting each layer dry before I apply another. And I'm just double checking, flipping over my gel plate now and then to see how opaque the layers are, and if they're not showing through, I just add some more. It's actually quite fun to do. So I let my layers dry completely on my gel plate before using Liquitex Basics in parchment to pull up my print. I'm on to my second print, and I found an adorable page in the catalog of ladies' boots. And I was thinking to myself that the style of boots from back in the day would definitely still be in style today. So it just goes to show you that a lot of styles, stand the test of time. So I have some cleaning up to do here. As you can see, the tiny text on the image did not show up that well. And that seems to be the case for most of these laser resists that I did. So I'm just cleaning it up, and in future, laser prints that I did towards the end of the video, I actually ended up, editing out a lot of the small detailed text, and that seemed to work well. So I'm just going to pull up my print using a light shade of pink. I feel like it's very retro looking, and I decided to cut my registration tool that I made in half because I was finding that it was too difficult to use the other way that I had it. I'm still kind of working on that, trying to design one for myself that doesn't get in the way. All right, and I'm just going to let this dry for a bit, and there we go. So not too bad. I'm just using regular copy paper, if you're wondering, nothing fancy. And I'm pretty happy with the results considering I had to do a lot of cleanup. So I'm on to my third print, and I found this page in the men's category of the catalog. I did manipulate it quite a bit because this page was quite distorted to begin with. So there we go. Now, as you can see, I had problems with the text again, but that's okay. I'm just going to clean it up. The actual faces of the men turned out pretty well, and I've had problems with the faces before not showing up completely. So I am keeping this one, and I am just going to fix it. And I think that's what we all should do. If you make mistakes, just try to fix them. Nothing is perfect, and I have to remind myself that most days. So I went searching for a stencil that I could use to cover up the blank spaces after I removed the text, and I found this plaid stencil, and I like the results that I got from it. So now that these gentlemen are completely dried on the plate, I am using unbleached titanium to pick up these layers and to pull the print. So I'm moving on to my fourth print, and I wanted to keep this section in real time, okay, this clip in real time, so you can see exactly how long this takes. So I'm applying a very thin layer of Liquitex Basics Mars Black once again. It seems to be working, so I'm just sticking with that paint. And I'm working pretty fast. I think it looks like it's going a little slow, but that could be because I'm staring at a smaller screen here as I'm doing my voiceover. So I'm just braying that on, okay, making sure that I can, kind of see through the paint. Applying my registration tool that I made this time, I remembered. And here is the page, okay? Now, I highly manipulated this page because I wanted to make sure it worked out. Right, so I got rid of a bunch of the small text on the page that I knew just wouldn't show up. And, I just made sure that I cleaned up the page as much as I could to give me better results. Okay, so I let my plate dry completely, and now I'm using Liquitex Basics Green Gray and a little bit of titanium white to pull up this print. I think this color is pretty retro as well, in my mind anyway, and I'm pretty happy with the results, guys. So I'm just going to place down my copy paper. I'm not using anything fancy. I've mentioned before I like to use copy paper for my prints when I can. It's just easy. And I'm just slowly, releasing my paper from my plate, just doing this in real time again. So you guys can see exactly, how long it takes, because I think when things are sped up, it makes it look like, these things take no time at all, when in actuality, it takes quite a bit of time. For my fifth print, I am making a background first. So I'm adding unbleached titanium to my plate. And then I'm going to use burlap to add some texture. And I just reuse the same piece of burlap over and over, works fine. Now I should have placed a piece of paper on top and then pressed it down because you can see some of my handprints on the gel plate, but that's okay. I'm trying to blend them in a little bit here. And I let that dry, and now I'm adding a layer of just titanium white, and I'm going to pull the print with this layer. I found a wood and coal burning kitchen stove in one of the catalogs, and I wanted to make a print out of this picture. I just thought it was so unique. It was made out of cast iron, and it was so detailed with little acorns and other little surprising elements. And all of this was under $40, including shipping. Here I'm just carefully cleaning up the excess paint on my plate. The actual image of the oven is fine, so I'm not worried about that, but I'm just taking my time and going around and just cleaning up all the excess. So here I'm using my matte medium, okay, and I'm going to use the original background that I worked on to pick up this layer. Okay, so for my last print, I found this lady holding an umbrella in the catalog, and I thought she looked exactly like Mary Poppins, and Mary Poppins was one of my favorite movies growing up. So I thought that I would make a single print out of her. So I did a lot of editing. I took away a lot of the text and the other ladies that were on the page just to make this very simple and easy. You know, these transfers can be very frustrating, guys. I'm not going to lie and say they're easy. They're not one of my favorite things to do, if I'm completely honest, on the gel plate. But I do like a challenge, and these are quite challenging to do. So that's why I think I continue to do them and try to improve on them. Okay, so I switched things up, and I'm working on my 5x7 gel plate now. And I've mentioned before, I really like working on my 5x7 gel plate. I think it's the perfect size to experiment with. It's easy to clean. It's, you know, easy to handle. So my plate is completely dry, so now I'm using parchment to pull up my print. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my video, and hopefully I will see you on my next one. Bye everyone, take care.